Today we will start with the new semester third, and we are going to discuss English linguistics and phonetics. Before going through the paper, we must know the meaning of the title. The first word in the title is English linguistics. English refers to English language, and linguistics means the scientific study of a language. A scientific study of language is called linguistics. The next word that is in the title, that is given in the title, is phonetics. Then what is a phonetics? Phonetics is a scientific study of production, transmission and reception of sounds. Here one thing that is to be noted is that linguistics is the scientific study of three things. First, production, then transmission, then reception of speech sounds. So here the question is, the first question basically is the production of speech sound. Then the second question is the transmission of those produced sounds. Then the third question is the reception of these transmitted sounds. So in your course, all the three things are not prescribed. Here the one thing is that is to be studied is the production of speech sounds only. So we will discuss only the production of speech sounds. So here we should know, or we should study how these English or RP sounds are produced. So to study or to know or to find out how these sounds are produced, we should know first about a machinery that is involved to produce these sounds. So for the production of speech sounds, our nervous system, the whole nervous system, and different articulators or organs of speech are involved along with our mind. So first question is that our mind has a message, and that message is then conveyed to our nervous system and organs of speech. So first of all, we think an idea, what is to speak. Then this idea is promoted or given to the nervous, this instruction is given to our nervous system, and then nervous system and articulators are involved and work to produce a sound. So before we study the sounds, we should know about the articulators and the whole machinery or the whole system, the whole articulators. So with a view to know about these articulators easily, we divide these articulators into three groups. The first group is called the respiratory system, Respiratory system includes our lungs. They also perform a very important role in the production of speech sounds. What is lungs? Lungs are of two types of balloons which store the air passage which we inhale, and again the lungs reduce them or exhale the air passage in order to perform two types of functions. The primary function is called normal breathing. That is the study of medical science that is needed to live. Breath is important. The first function of lung is normal breathing, and the second important function which they perform is speaking or production of sounds. So the air passage or breath that is released by our lungs is modeled on 3 points for the production of sounds. First of all, this air passage is given to our phonetics system, where our vocal cords works. Then again it is modeled or modified on second point by organs of speech that are in our mouth, as lips, tongue, soft palate, hard palate, alveolar ridge, etc. So this is a normal process of production. So before studying this process of production, you should know about the various organs of speech. So with the convenience of or comfortability of knowing or studying about organs of speech, we divide them into 3 parts. The respiratory system, where lungs are situated, and our windpipe. The secondary important part is phonetics system, where our vocal cords work together. What are the vocal cords? The vocal cords are 2 tissues of flesh, very soft, which vibrate at the time of production. The air passage when is given to the windpipe, there this air passage passes through vocal cords. These vocal cords, as a result of high pressure that is given by the air passage, begin to vibrate, and the frequency of the vibration is very high. Is so much high that it produces a kind of voice. And here one thing is very important, that this rate of vibration in males and females are different. In males, the rate of vocal cords per second per minute is from 200 to 150 in women, and from 150 to 200 in males. So this is very clear that the quality of sound and the high rate of vibration of vocal cords in women is very high in comparative to males. So these vocal cords vibrate actually situated horizontally in our vocal box. They are tissues of flesh like this, and they vibrate like this, not like this, horizontally, not vertically. And this frequency is very high, as I already told. After the modulation, and they also works under three conditions, or they can be found in three conditions or in three situations. The first one is the closed glottis. Glottis means the space or the opening space between the vocal cords is called glottis. So first is called the closed glottis. Closed glottis means there is no space between the vocal cords. They are tightly closed together, or they are tightly put together. But this situation is very rare and not appropriate for the production of sounds, because this situation is found only at the time of death and strangulation, when there is no breathing. So a man dies. So this situation can be found only at the time of death, and no sound can be produced. This condition or state is not possible for the production of sound. One important thing is here is that this situation transiently or for a moment can be found at the time of some physical problem like cough, and at the time of hard breathing. For a moment these vocal cords are closed, and as a result we begin to breathe hard. So this situation is very rare and not appropriate or suitable for the production of any kind of sound. So next condition or state of vocal cords is called the open glottis. Open glottis, as the title refers or the heading refers to, open glottis. Open means when there is a lot of space between the vocal cords. Actually they are open or wide apart together, and the space or the opening between the two vocal cords is large, and as a result the air passage that comes from the lung or that is released from the lung finds a very wide space between, and there is no pressure as a result. If the pressure is given a wide path and pass, it will have no pressure at all, and pressure is very important for the production of any sound. So that's also this situation or this state of vocal cords is also not appropriate for the production of sounds. This situation is found at normal breathing condition. When we normal breathing, we have normal breathing. So in the state when we have normal breathing, no sound can be produced. For the production of these sounds, there must be a little or very narrow space between the vocal cords. So the third stage of vocal cords, which is useful or used for the production of speech sound, is narrowing glottis. Narrowing glottis is situation where the two vocal cords are very near together. They are put together having a very little space between. This little space is appropriate for the production of speech sounds, as the air passage that is released by the lungs have no pressure, and due to this pressure, when pressure pushes the vocal cords, the air passage finds very little space, and it passes through the vocal cords with a high friction or with a high volume of pressure. This high volume of pressure As a result, creates vibration in vocal cords, and this vibration, as I already told, is very high and is different in males and females. So as a result, the vocal cords begin to vibrate at a very high rate, and this vibration creates a kind of voice in our throat, in vocal box. Vocal box is a type of box in which these vocal cords are situated. This vocal box is this one, and this the another name. The another name, that is biblical name taken from the Bible, is also Adam's apple. This has a biblical reference, and its description is also given in Bible. It is generally believed that the first father and the first father and our first mother, according to the Bible, was Adam and Eve. So this vocal cords is created there, according to the Bible, due to the taken or tasted the fruit, forbidden fruit in the heaven, that was restricted to be tasted by God, and this was a violation of rule of God. That's why both Eve first tasted the fruit, then Adam was also tasted the fruit. Then both were banished from the heaven and pushed in the fire of hell, thrown in the fire of hell. But the first was woman who tasted the fruit. Then male was compelled to taste the fruit. The woman swallowed the very piece to be tasted in the mouth. So woman has the vocal cord, or this box is hidden and not seen in the throat, but in males it is seen. The reason or the description is given in the Bible that male at the time of tasting the fruit was in a state of confusion, whether he should taste the fruit or should not taste the fruit. As he tastes the fruit, it will be a violation of the rules of God. So he tastes the fruit. He tasted the fruit but could not swallow it, and at the time it was stuck in the throat of male. So this is a general reference given in the Bible. So this is called Adam's apple. But its scientific name is vocal box. So the third type of heading, that is respiratory system. In respiratory system we include the mouth cavity, the nasal cavity, or the organs of the speech situated in our mouth and nose, and these are lips, our teeth, tongue, the various parts of tongue, the front, the center or the back part of tongue, then the soft palate. Then comes uvula, hard palate, alveolar ridge, teeth, upper and lower both. These called the oral cavity. There are two types of cavity. Cavity means a vacuum, khali sthan, vacuum. So there are two types of cavities which are used in the production of sound: the nasal cavity and the oral cavity. Nasal cavity, because there are some sounds which are produced with the help of our nose, and the other sounds which are produced with the help of our mouth, or where our oral cavity works is called the oral sounds. after the modulation of our air passage in our throat by the vocal cords, this air passage passes through our mouth, either through our mouth or oral cavity or by our nose. So this is a normal process how the sounds are produced. After knowing a little about how the sounds are produced, we should know about the different organs of speech. And these organs of speech which work together at the time of production of sounds, we will study one by one the different organs of speech, and this is also a very important question that is usually asked in the examinations. Organs of speech or about speech mechanism. So in our second video we will discuss the organs of speech one by one. I hope you will understand, and if you have any type of problem, you can have a query.